At a recent meeting in Sunyani, the Conference of Directors of Education made various submissions to government in a communique. Among the concerns at the 24th Annual Conference is a call for a reduction in subjects at various levels of education in Ghana. The Directors of Education also want government to address resource shortfalls across all schools. It comes ahead of the implementation of government's free senior high school policy. But there are questions to be answered. So how did they arrive at such conclusions? Kwesi Debra sought responses from immediate past Vice President of the conference, Alexander Atasante.
And we have evidence and data that most of these basic schools have deficit in the supply of furniture. When we talk of furniture, we mean the desks on which the mono and then the dual that they sit on. To a large extent, you always notice that in some cases, a dual desk that is meant for 2 students or pupils will have 4 of them seated on it. And that is a great inconvenience to the classroom, to the students as far as the classroom atmosphere is concerned. And then, and so we are pleading with the government to update these supply of furniture to the schools. And that is exactly what we also have a situation where the preschool education, that is the KG, in most of the new schools that are being constructed, they do it without recourse to the construction of these basic KG schools attached to it. And we know that in the 2008 educational reforms, preschools have become part of it and have been made as one of the mainstreams of education system that we had.
Workers of Perfect Business Systems Limited, the company which was awarded the controversial multi-million-dollar IT infrastructure contract, SSNIT, were on Tuesday locked up in their offices following a reported raid on the premises by officials of the Economic and Organized Crimes Office, EOCO. Officials of the company would not speak with anyone, but information gathered by our reporter, Komla Adom, indicates some vehicles were at the premises, even though it was yet to be established if these persons were indeed from EOCO. Komla Adom also reports that hours after the lockup, the mood of workers leaving the company was one of anxiety and one of agitation, as security officials of the company warded off passers-by.
So currently here at the premises of Perfect Business Services Limited, the company that was awarded the $72 million OBS software suite contract by the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SSNIT. And we gathered earlier that the officials from the Economic and Organized Crimes Office, EOCO, were here earlier to ransack their offices and also to see some documents. But the mood among workers here when we got here is that of anxiety, dejection, and agitation, essentially. They had closed as at 4:30 p.m. when we got here. They had closed, but the workers could be visibly seen behind the glass tabbing. And so it was clear that people were at work, but the office had been locked to activities. Security officials would not even respond to greetings from people who passed by. So it told us a story that indeed there was some activity here. Some activity had happened here some 2 hours ago, but people who live and work around here are unable to confirm if indeed those who came here with vehicles are operatives from a national security or even from Economic and Organized Crimes Office, EOCO. For JoyNews, Komla Adom reporting.
And a financial investigator, Kujo Akpabe, is leading an aggressive crusade for the shutdown of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SSNIT, through a constitutional amendment describing the insurance scheme as deceitful. The financial consultant who led investigations into activities of SSNIT way back in 2002 and 2003 said the $72 million IT system scandal being discussed at the moment is only a fraction of billions of cedis being looted at SSNIT as well as other state institutions.
We will say it's running into several billions of cedis.
Several billions of cedis. Will you be able to approximate it somehow?
Well, I would say this exercise we did should be getting to about, in today's Ghana cedis, it should be close to 20, 30 billion cedis.
Okay,
that's cedis.
Okay.
The cedis element.
Okay, can you do dollars? Can you give us a dollar? The dollar
dollars should be roughly running into several millions.
Okay, so let's take to the Ghana cedi. So 20 to 30 billion dollars.
Yes.
Cedis.
Yes.
Cedis.
Approximately.
Approximately. Lost within which period?
Well, we did the exercise, I think, 2000, 2003.
Okay, so this is 2000, between 2000 and 2003.
Yes.
And what happened to this report?
These were all bad investments. Your money and my money, bad investments.
Okay.
And if you look at it, so political, like I'm saying, we wouldn't mention names here.
Right.
So that is the way SSNIT has been run over the years.
Okay.
So the point I'm making is this 72 million, which has become what? The
talk of the day.
Talk of the day. It's not new.
It's not new.
Yes, that's the point I'm making. Let's tackle SSNIT itself. Government to carry out comprehensive audit of state institutions.
And this story is dated when?
Yes, Daily Graphic, Friday, July 28, 2017, by the current president.
Okay.
So we'll hold him. Let us audit all the state institutions, even from 1992. That's what I've been saying all this time. And we'll see. And let them pay for the monies they have looted. The state is about 32. And we are talking about one.
Why?
Right?
And we're looking at a lot of money as
well. We'll bring you one. You will weep for this country, which we are doing. The point I'm making is this. All the state institutions have virtually been a failure. Let's not look at the 72 million, which is running.
Okay.
Now, I'm a figure. I've dealt with numbers all my years.
Okay.
You following me? Now, SSNIT is a failure. Let's see what SSNIT has been doing.
Okay.
That's the point.
Well, the Public Procurement Authority has also described as complete falsehood claims that it has spent $97 million on a software procurement. The report first emerged after news broke about the SSNIT ICT contract award saga, where over $72 million was spent on an automation project. Addressing a news conference on the software purchase claim, the PPA chief executive, A.B. Ajay, said the authority's e-government procurement software is being funded with $5 million from the World Bank.
A few days ago, we woke up to the shocking news about a 97 million contract reported to have been signed by the Public Procurement Authority for the development of an electronic government procurement system, e-Ghana, as we call it, in Ghana. We therefore wish to use this opportunity to place on record that this information is totally false and nothing less than a complete misrepresentation of facts and figures. On July 30th, 2014, a financing agreement was signed between the government of Ghana and the World Bank to support the implementation of the e-Transport project. The total credit under the financing agreement, ladies and gentlemen, is 97 million, and it was meant for 4 broad components. 1, creating an enabling environment for electronic government and business, supporting the upgrade of national identification system and online verification service, scaling up of applications to improve service delivery in priority sectors, and last but not the least, project management and impact evaluation. The public procurement program of the e-government procurement falls under component 3. Component 3 is scale up of applications to improve service delivery in priority sectors And there are, under this component, 4 other sub-components. And the amount of money allocated for the e-government procurement, ladies and gentlemen, is $5 million. The allocated sum of $5 million for the e-government procurement is meant to cover the following activities.
And Parliament will soon institute investigations into the Social Security and National Insurance Trust scandal, but that can only happen after it resumes sitting in October. The trust is currently being investigated by Yoko for blowing $72 million on procuring and installing software and other hardware systems known as the Operational Business Suite, that's the OBS, in a bid to digitize the data for the trust. Speaking at a forum to assess the work of the first and second meeting of Parliament, the Majority Leader, Osei Chi-Mensah-Bonsu, says the inconsistencies in the amount demonstrate a lack of professionalism in the use of public funds.
We've just entered August, and August will be closing in a few days' time, and then we enter September. Now, our rules provide for some time to lapse. When a proposal is submitted to the Speaker to recall Parliament upon maybe a certain number of signatures having been applied. When we were closing the second meeting, we signaled to ourselves that we'll be coming back on the 3rd of October, or possibly a week earlier than that. Now, what it means is that if today the process should be triggered and Parliament should be summoned, it will mean that maybe we'll come, deliberate on it, go home, and within 3 days come back. And that will not amount to a more profitable spending of the limited resources that we have. So we believe that if we come back, we can effectively deal with the matter. I agree that is urgent and it should concern us. We want to have expenditures bloating from the initial 24 million, later corrected to about 32 million, later corrected again to about in the region of 64 something million, and then today is 72. And we are still counting. Looks like the figure is still going to go up again. And certainly it's not the best. It does not amount to a proficient and a better use of the scarce resources that we have.
For stealing $30,000 belonging to Ghana Freedom Party founder, Madam Ekuadonko, 3 men, including her personal driver, will be spending the next 20 years of their lives in prison. Yakubu Yusuf, GFP's Central Regional Chairman, Barnabas Kayase, her personal driver, and Abdul Razak Shaibu were tried after a complaint was made to the police that they had on December 30, 2016, robbed her on a trip to the Kumasi airport. All 3 pleaded not guilty to charges of conspiracy to rob and robbery. JoyNews' Joseph Akable was in court and now reports.
Reactions from relatives of the 3 individuals who for the next 20 years will be spending time in prison. And this was after Justice Abuaji Tano had found them guilty of conspiracy to rob as well as a robbery. They had pleaded not guilty to the 2 charges put against them. The narration that was put before the court was the fact that while Madam Ekuadonko on the 30th of December at 2:30 a.m. was on her way heading towards the airport out of the country to the United States of America, these 2 individuals who were in the vehicle with her and a 3rd other person who who was also sentenced, came over with another vehicle, pointed a gun at the woman, and made away with a handbag which contained her travel documents as well as an amount of $30,000. The court was again told that the two gentlemen, a driver and a Central Regional Party chairperson who was also in the vehicle, the driver slowed down the vehicle when they realized that the other accused person was in the vehicle was approaching their vehicle, ensuring that they had access to them. Madam Ekwadonko said she had actually informed them that these persons could be armed robbers, so he had wanted the driver to speed away. Yet the driver slowed down, allowing them to come closer, pointing a gun at her and making away with a said amount of money. Justice Abuajitano, in delivering a judgment, said, per the testimony given by the three individuals, and he described it as being full of half-truths and inconsistencies, leaving the court with no other decision than to sentence them on both counts as presented by prosecution. As he again pointed some of these inconsistencies he noted. For instance, he said that the narration given by one of them was that Madam Ekwadonko had indicated that following the victory of President Akufo-Addo at the 2016 polls, as she had wanted to file an election petition outside the country at the International Court of Justice, The Hague, for which reason they had wanted to steal her traveling documents and not to steal the money from her. The judge described this testimony as worrying, pointing out that in fact, after the gentleman had been arrested and asked to show where they dumped her handbag, they discovered the traveling documents in the handbag. The judge posited that how could you be on a mission to retrieve the documents, but you made away with the amount of money, leaving a handbag containing the travel documents you had told the court you wanted to retrieve rather in the bush, in the bag. After delivering the judgment, he again pointed out that the individuals are to also refund the amount of money that remains outstanding that the police failed to retrieve from her. Madam Ekwadonko expressed satisfaction with the decision of the court.
I am grateful to God that without committing any sin, someone who drives me wants to kill me and take my money.
No one will be coming. No one will be passport to take it.
If not for you, I may have been killed. I thank you for your prayers. I did well in my role to ensure that they were arrested. If I win the polls, I will do same.
My idea. See, I try Baba and I bet Taco. Match you open your eye. What the aircraft going to have one to this one?
What remains unclear is exactly how much money the three individuals had to refund to the state, as the police officials are also not clear on exactly how much is outstanding. But what we know for a fact is that they are supposed to refund the money to the state, apart from serving 20 years each in prison for conspiring to rob and also robbery. Reporting for JoyNews from the Accra Circuit Court, my name is Joseph Akabli.
Well, so that's it for the latest news updates we have. Mama V is ready with some messages. How are you? Good morning to you.
I'm good. Are my eyes red?
No, they are not.
Okay.
But I know.
It's a Wednesday. It's midweek. I'm good.
Shall we have to do eye transplant for you? Don't worry,
well,
just kidding.
We've got a few messages. Sir Ike wants us to know that he's watching us live from the Volta region. We appreciate that.
Where in the Volta region? You should have told us why.
Wait, hang on. It's Sasiema. Sasiema. Okay, where's that?
It's around a ball.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll catch you up. We thank you for watching.